Hello, this is Sue coming to you from McHenry County Farm Bureau Ag in the Classroom program. Members of the Farm Bureau and local farmers are happy to share with you information about crops grown right here in McHenry County. Christmas trees are grown on tree farms. A Christmas tree may end up in your home at Christmas time or someplace else, like this Christmas tree shown here at the Capitol Building in Washington, D.C. Christmas trees are also called pine trees or evergreen trees. The scientific name for a Christmas tree is conifer. Some farmers grow conifers to plant in yards, in parks, and by schools and other buildings. And some farmers grow conifers for people to use as Christmas trees. Conifers are different from other trees in that their seeds develop in pine cones. They have needles instead of leaves, and the needles stay green throughout the year. When farmers grow conifers, they collect pine cones, harvest the seeds from inside the cones, and plant the seeds at nurseries or in greenhouses. The little plant that grows from a conifer seed is called a seedling or a sapling. When seedlings are about 2 years old or about 18 inches tall, they are transplanted or dug out of the soil they are growing in and moved to a large field where they are planted in rows so they have plenty of room to grow. Seedlings are transplanted in the springtime. A hole can be dug with a shovel or a planter pulled by a tractor. The soil must be stomped down around the seedling's roots. Seedlings grow in their new field for several years, about 12 inches each year, depending on the weather conditions. Farmers mow the weeds between the rows of conifers so the young trees can get plenty of sunshine and water. Trees need to be shaped or pruned every year until they are ready to be harvested. After a Christmas tree is cut down, a farmer grinds the stump that remains in the ground. The bits of wood from the stump are left to decompose in the soil. In 7 to 8 years, Christmas trees are ready to harvest. There are many varieties of conifers called pines, spruces, and fir trees. Farmers grow different kinds of conifers, so people have lots of choices when they pick a tree to plant in their yard or to take home and decorate at Christmas time. Scotch pine trees have medium-length, stiff needles in packets of 2. Their pine cones are round shape and with thick scales or layers. The pine cones from the white pine tree are long and the scales are thin. The needles are longer than the Scotch pine needles, softer, and in packets of 5. Blue spruce trees have pine cones that are oblong with papery thin scales. Their bluish-green needles are very stiff and sharp. Fir trees have softer needles than spruce trees, and each single needle is attached to a branch. The Douglas fir tree has pine cones that are oblong with stingray shapes. The needles are also an inch in length and light green in color. Fraser fir tree needles have white stripes on the undersides, which give them a silvery green color. Concolor fir trees have longer, flat needles, and they have a citrus scent. Both the Fraser and Concolor fir pine cones have thin layers and are very delicate. You can use this conifer key to see if you can identify conifers growing in your yard or the Christmas tree you choose this year. When farmers grow conifers to use in landscaping projects, they carefully dig the tree's roots with a shovel or machine and replant the tree in its new location. When farmers grow conifers to sell for Christmas trees, they invite folks to come to their farms and choose a tree to cut down and take home. Let's visit the Richardson's Christmas tree farm in Spring Grove, Illinois. When you visit a Christmas tree farm, you might take a walk to the conifer field, or you might take a ride on a wagon pulled by a tractor or horses. You would search until you found the perfect Christmas tree. You could count the whorls of branches or the rings on the tree trunk to see how old your Christmas tree is. You might have your tree shaken to remove dead needles and wrapped so that you can load it onto your car easier. You might visit the gift shop where conifer branches are made into wreaths and garlands and much more for you to buy. Then it's home to decorate your tree. But is it okay to cut a Christmas tree? What do you think? Christmas tree farms are actually good for the environment. They provide habitats for woodland animals, insects, and butterflies. Trees are a renewable resource. Farmers plant more trees as trees are cut down. And trees produce oxygen for people to breathe. And after Christmas, real Christmas trees can be recycled into mulch to use on playgrounds and in gardens. Old trees can also be used in wildlife areas to establish nesting for birds and in ponds to attract fish. So go ahead, start a new tradition with your family. Cut a Christmas tree.